Hey there, my name is Madison Underwood. I am a contributing writer for Birmingham Weekly. It is 7:14 p.m. and I'm on Valleydale Road headed towards the Hoover Tax Day Tea Party, which is a rally against excessive government spending. I left my apartment in Southside at about 6:04 p.m. and got to Valleydale Road at about 6:30. I've been trying to travel the 4 miles I need to travel on Valleydale Road for the past 45 minutes or so. I'm not sure if all this traffic is for the Tea Party. For all I know, it could be normal Hoover traffic. There have been a lot of McCain-Palin stickers, but this is supposed to be a nonpartisan libertarian rally. But we'll see when we get there.
For God's sake, give more power to the people. There's some people up there holding everything.
About 230 some odd years ago, about 1773, a group of Americans dressed up like Indians, as you know, and they crawled up on that boat, and they snuck down in the galley and grabbed those barrels of tea, and they popped the top off, and they eased up, and they poured it overboard. And that spark started one of the first movements in relieving ourselves of tyranny in this country. I believe these tea parties, what's going on across this great land, is a spark. Jefferson talked about a revolution every 20 years. I think this is it, and it started here in Birmingham and across this great land.
Geithner want to do? He wants us to get into a world currency so that we'll be total slaves to a world government rather than the slaves that we are to the current government that we have right now.
Are you from Hoover? Are you from Shelby County?
We just moved to Mountain Brook
Okay.
from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So we've been here about redistribution of wealth, and I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I'm a capitalist, and I believe if we work hard and we make money, that you should be able to keep it. And everybody should, in a capitalist society, I think everybody should have that incentive to work hard and be able to keep what they earn, and not have to give it to people who don't work as hard as you do, or don't work at all.
So do you agree with taxes at all, or?
I do agree with taxes. I think there's a reason for taxes, and I believe in helping the people that need help and giving them a hand up.
Okay.
I don't believe in helping them for the rest of their lives.
Okay. Do you believe in fair tax?
I do believe in the fair tax. I'd like to know a little more of the details about it, but I do think that our tax system is not equitable.
Think DC's listening?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. God bless America. Now look, folks. You gotta help me out here. I just got here a few minutes ago. The traffic was absolutely unbelievable. I broke like 15 traffic laws, had about 4 wrecks almost to get here. So I missed out a little bit. So you've got to help me out, and we've got to make a lot of noise because there's some people in Washington, D.C., and more specifically, there's one man in particular who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that needs to hear us. So let's make some noise. I am so incredibly excited to see each and every one of you here because you realize what's at stake. But I got to tell you one thing. One thing this administration seems heck bent to do is they want the rich people to pay more taxes. Well, let me tell you, you may feel the same way I do. When you wrote your check by the IRS this morning on April the 15th, you didn't realize how rich you were. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But before we go any further, are there any veterans here? I want to see the veterans. Please hold them real high. I don't care what war, I don't care what. I want to hear something at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for these veterans. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you for your service. You guys are the reason that we're here, and no politician is the reason we have the freedom of speech. Now, folks, something else I want you to do before we start. I want you to step back, be quiet for just a second, look at the person to your right, look at the person to your left. Janet Napolitano, our esteemed Secretary of what department is it? Homeland Security, thinks we're terror threats. I look out here and I see great Americans. You know, I wonder, now that we're redefining what terrorism is, it's a man-made disaster, or we're redefining what our troops are doing overseas, it's an overseas contingency plan, but I think maybe we need to look where some real terrorists are. Let's see, what do you say a guy who maybe is an unrepentant bomber in the 60s, he bombed police stations, a guy who's an unrepentant member of the Weatherman faction, an unrepentant, quote, community organizer, a guy named Bill Ayers, who just happens to be a friend of the President of the United States. What do you call that guy? I call him a terrorist. I call him a terrorist.
Today, with these tea parties, the seeds have been planted. The 2010 elections in Congress and in the state legislatures and in the governor's houses across this country will bear the fruit of what happened today. Thank you and God bless.